Hello everybody, it's Miss Darling here in the studio. Welcome back. And if this is your first time, I hope you'll find this content of value to you and you'll subscribe and like the video, as that helps the channel. Please communicate with me with a comment or a question. I'll be more than happy to respond. Today we're going to be discussing another design style that is well recognized not only in the fine art world but also the junk journal world. And I'm talking today about the vertical design style. Here is a fine art painting using varied colorful vertical stripes to create a vertical design style work of art. Notice how much wider the teal stripe is and the thin yellow stripe just left of it. You have to balance the colors and the widths of the stripes in order to achieve a pleasing design. Now we have a very high energy fine art painting utilizing a huge number of vertical stripes but placed in a meandering pattern with varied lengths and curvatures. This creates a lot of motion and movement. In this example, a strong graphic image has been incorporated into the vertical design double spread by a junk journal crafter. It reads vertical design and is a very unique use of composition to create an attractive layout. Good use of negative space has been used as well. Negative space is that part of the artwork where there is no design or image. In this example, we have a bold and dramatic statement with high contrast. The negative space gives the eye a place to rest. Multiple decorated tags have been placed in 2 rows across the page, and while the tags create 2 horizontal lines, the vertical imagery and shape of the tags is so strong, I still read this as a vertical design style. All right. We are going to now make a vertical style masterboard, and hope you will join me from start to finish. I have pre-selected some papers that I'm going to pull from, which I think is always a really good idea to make some predeterminations, based on color, style, and other criteria. I mostly base that, however, on color and the different values. I want some darks, I want some lights, and I want some patterns. And I vary the width of each of my strips, and you'll see more of that as we get into it. I'm lining up my background sheet, my substrate, to go with the lines here on my desk, and that will help me get my vertical lines straight. I have some dark brown, I have of course black, I have this light beige. This one is going to have a muted sort of olive tint for color, and some of this for pattern. Some of this for text and pattern. And see, I also have some of this for pattern and color. So let's play around and see where it takes us. Okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 squares. I believe each square is 1/2 inch. And so I have 22 1/2 inches. So if I were to come in 11, I would find my center. I'm going to count in 2, 4, 6, 7 as my approximate 1/3. Let's see what we got here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That gives me a center area that's wider than the outer. I do not want wider, so I'm going to come in another 1/2 inch. And this is just me dividing up my page into approximate thirds, with the outer thirds a little wider than the center third. And I'm going to start with this pattern. I don't want to put it down first though, because I want to preserve those white edges. So let's maybe pick this, maybe to go here. Do I want to do this with, what glue do I want to use? I think maybe the quickest and easiest might be a glue stick. So I have to find my catalog that I've turned into a gluing station. Let's find a clean page here. And I think we're now ready. And so I'm going to do that there, but I need to put something down on the right side to glue over. I don't think I want something that will give me some pretty good contrast. Would that do it? Yeah, okay. I think we'll do that. So this is a little more than how's everybody today? Hope you're all fine. Back to school, back to work, hopefully. For anyone new here, I have an Etsy shop where I offer you lots of resources for your projects, whether it's this one or something else. So please be sure and check out my Etsy shop. It's called Miss Darling Arts. And if you like the video so far, now's a good time to put a like down there for me. I'd appreciate that. I want to use this somewhere in here. So I'm going to mark off for that. Alright, now what shall we do? Time for something dark out here maybe? Maybe we'll put a little more green in there before we do that. Yeah, I think I like that. I first just, try to have fun laying things down, looking for, some separation of width and looking for contrast or to create contrast, knowing that no matter what I start with, if I decide I don't like it, I can always glue something else on top. So that's what I might be doing here too. I'd like to get a little more contrast there between those two. I'm just using other cardstock I have on hand. I always have some black cardstock on hand, and so it comes in very handy when I want to make collages. sheet. You can see maybe a potential for some additional contrast here. I'm not liking this at all. Oh, I just found I have two different patterns. I thought I only had one extra green pattern, and I have two. Well, I guess that is the same as that. Okay, never mind. All right, I'm going to do that. Get a clean sheet here. If you were wondering why I did not extend these designs and colors down here and just carry it on through, and it's because that's what people would expect me to do. And so in rebellion, I'm going to do something different. Do I want that, or do I want something else? Have another one of these. And we could do that. Maybe I'll do that over later. This one is wide enough, and it will overlap that brown one. I'm not real happy about the width of that, probably because it's just so plain. So we're going to cover over some of that here on the outskirts. So some of the things that I think about as I evaluate it further: have I distributed the color around sufficiently? Have I used varying widths of strips, or do they all look like the same thing? I don't have enough black. I'm going to add more. And I'm not happy with the width of, the width of that brown one, so I'm getting rid of that. Well, I already did get rid of it, but I think I'll just bring in a little bit more green. I have this pattern here, and that's all. Oh, there's a small strip of it over here. So we have it here, we have a wider there, and then we'll have a shorter one here. So that's good distribution of that pattern. This one is here and here. Oh, this one here's as well. So we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4. This one I have 1, 2, 3. This is 1, 2, 3. This is 1, 2, 1, 2. So I'm pretty well distributed. I think I'm going to add this on top. Maybe even cut down a little more on that brown strip. This adds a little more white. Alright, now I want to add some more black. Do I want to emphasize? We have a dramatic change going on here and here. I think I do, but I'm not sure I want that wide of a strip. And I don't have I'll have to cut one. So I'll be right back. Okay, I have my black strip. Just trim it down. Okay. All right, I can't fully tell what we've got here and if I'm 100% pleased with it. As long as it's taped down and I have overhangs I need to trim off. So let's do that now and then take another look at it and see what we think. Alright, that's kind of messy. What have we got here? Not bad. Let's take a look at it from other vantage points. These would be upside down. And just looking at it like this, my eye wants there to be something up here to help balance. But on the other hand, this is a masterboard and it is meant for one to embellish further if one chooses. So if I go adding something, then it limits the use of it as a masterboard. So I'm going to refrain from doing that. I'm not going to say I'm 100% pleased with it because I'm not. Just trying to figure out why I'm not. I think that's probably it for the most part. I mean, if if I just, put anything up there, you see what a difference that makes in terms of the feeling of balance, just having something else over there that wasn't even the right color of something. Let's just see if we can find, maybe that has a little bit more of our coloring there, but I guess that's somebody's business card. Well, I do have a bunch of ephemera that I have pre-picked out. I mean, I could do more of this, but I think that's enough. Or maybe that's what I had, no. Had I planned to use this to begin with? I don't know. Too late now. But, okay, let's see, if you embellished it with something like that, you can see what a difference embellishment would make. There's something with some green in it. How nice is that? What do you do? What if you did giant number 19? These are all, you know, really great choices from a color-wise standpoint. But I don't think I want to glue any of this down on my masterboard. This will all wait to be done on a copyboard, and that way I preserve this for other uses. So I'm going to keep it as is. If I make any other changes to it, obviously you won't see them, but I probably will leave it as it is. And let's see if we can get a little tighter look at it. So let me know what you think. That's all I have for now, and please visit my Etsy shop. Remember to give a like, a thumbs up, a comment, share the video with your friends and family and co-workers, anyone interested in crafting or design. I'd appreciate it, and so would they. And with that said, this is Miss Darling calling this a wrap. Bye-bye. I did in the end make a few more changes. There was an end piece that I had cut off here that I have now attached up there and put black border all the way around it. And I added this darker piece down here. I felt like I needed more darkness down here to give visual support to the weight that's above it. And I have added some zigzag sewing to it just for fun, just to give you, you know, additional ideas of what you can do to play around and add a little extra something without attracting too much attention to it. So that's how the basic masterboard appears right now. And then I wanted to show you how I have embellished it. I made a copyboard, and this is how I embellished the right half of the page with this image here, and I put the butterfly, this number, and this image here, there. And then on the reverse side, the left side, we have this. This is just a tag I made a few days ago, and the colors were so perfect and blended so well, I just glued it on there. So that's as complicated as that was, and here's how that one looks opened up. So that's one idea for embellishment. Here's another one, and this is the right hand page. I added this image, the butterfly, and this image, and I backed them onto, well, this and this I backed onto a piece of black cardstock and then cut it out. And then here is the reverse side, and I again backed it with black cardstock and then added the butterfly. And here's what that looks like opened up. So it's a completely different feeling to this one, and I just wanted you to see, I mean, there's so many different ways a person can decorate a masterboard. And then what I did is I took the masterboard and I tinted it 40%, so this is 60% of the original. So you can see the background is much more faint. I added this sign and this image here and put the word journal on. And then the reverse side, I backed everything with a black border with black cardstock, so you would have some really strong contrast with the ephemera that's on the front. And so that's how this one came out. So you can see here was one masterboard, and we have 3 different ways that I embellished excuse me, 3 different ways that I embellished that one masterboard. And there's 100 more ways it could be done. So I just wanted you to see what can be done and encourage you to just have fun with whatever you make and know that there are endless possibilities. And so this now finally is the end of this video. And so for the second time, this is Miss Darling calling this a second wrap. Thank you. Bye-bye.